Back to that screen we were just on where we could play and kind of toggle here, you now have an option to repeat a test. And the reason I say this is because sometimes when y'all are learning how to do this, or even I've done this even as an audiologist graduated, I click start on a test too soon when I wasn't ready to start the recording. Again, it's going to make you record for at least 10 seconds, but if you'd like to try that again and redo the test, you just hit this repeat test button and it's going to give you a couple of options here. It says, warning, the test contains data. Are we trying to overwrite the current data? Add another one, so we just run it a second time and it keeps both sets of data, or cancel and just go keep what you have and move on. And so again, overwrite, that's going to be where whatever you just recorded, we're going to write over the top of that. It's not going to keep any of the information you just recorded. Whereas add new, it's going to create a second option in your protocol, and you're just going to see both sets of tests that you ran. So sometimes you might want to keep both and you just want to redo it a second time and keep both sets of data. You can do that too. And then cancel just again means you're moving out of this and you're not overriding or adding a new. You're just going to keep what you had before. And so that's really helpful. And especially when you're doing your labs, if you start too soon and you want to try again, use that repeat test function. The other thing that I want you to be aware of, but you're probably not going to use very much right now, is this Edit Tools button. This button, when you click it, it pulls up this screen here, and we've got this box of options here. Now remember, in the middle of the screen over here, where you should be seeing any nystagmus that was recorded, you can kind of see a really thin blue line here, and the red's kind of buried in there too, but no nystagmus, probably because there were no eyes when I hit play on this, so there was nothing to record. But if we have nystagmus and we want to edit it and look at it in more detail, here are some of the options. I can add beats of nystagmus or take them away. So if it said something was nystagmus and I don't want it there, I can take it away, or add in nystagmus that I thought should have been there that it did not identify. I can also edit the slopes. So this is going to be how strong the nystagmus is. And I'll probably create another video on this a little bit later showing you in more detail how to do this, but you can edit the degree or the angle of the nystagmus, and at least in what it's recording. I can zoom in a little bit more on this zoom trace. I can also open a section where I enable beats of nystagmus or disable beats of nystagmus. So if I see a section like, for example, in high frequency head shake, they're turning their head left and right and left and right. And so it's putting the sinusoidal wave pretty quickly on the screen. And sometimes it says that's nystagmus, which we know that that's not a nystagmus that's interesting for us because we're making that happen. And so sometimes I'll go through and delete all the nystagmus that's recorded in that section because it's kind of impacting how I would interpret those test results. Now, if I've played around with this and I'm like, oops, I'm not really sure what I did and I really want to undo everything that I just did, I go to this last button here and I just reset what I've done. And when I'm done with whatever tools here I would like, I just hit done editing and then it takes us back out to that main screen. Okay. The final step here, exiting the software, really easy. So what we're going to do, if you're in the hamburger here, at the very bottom, you see that session review. We're going to click session review, and it's going to take us back to your print screen. Again, you can print from here, but if we hit finish in the bottom left, it's going to take us back out to that home screen, this one here. The other thing I can do is if I'm on this screen instead, I can always hit that home button. And again, it's going to take me back out to this main screen here. And there's Lily for you guys. She was my test assistant in putting this together. And so we're back out to this main screen. And then the last thing we need to do here is exit. And it's going to take us back out to the home screen. Do we want to exit? Yes, we do. And we're going to go back out to the main screen where we started when we first put our patient in here. And you'll see here too, the patient that we created is not here. It will actually be at the top of the screen over here. And the session that you just created will have populated over here on the right. So you'll see all that information as saved now that we've run that patient and run all the information and testing that we wanted to do on that patient.